Hey everyone, my name is Taps, and 2021 has been a wild ride for Ecomi, Veve, and us as collectors and investors. From just under 5,000 users in the app in February to now well over 1.3 monthly active monthly users, over $100 million in consumer spending on the Veve app, and right around 3 million NFT digital collectibles dropped and sold out. We've still yet to see some of the biggest updates to come, with further emphasis on the OMI token itself and many catalysts that will actually help with further growth on the prices of the collectibles as well as continued user growth. With 2021 just about in our rear view, it's time we now set our sights on 2022 and what is about to come. As always, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the community and feel free to subscribe. I'm a crypto, stock, and real estate investor, but never a financial advisor. Veve always has a million things going on at once, and there's been so many announcements and so many things to look forward to, it's hard to remember them all. So in this video, we're gonna go through almost like a roadmap of highlights of what is on the horizon going into 2022. We're starting off with the number one thing that we've been waiting for since summer, and that is of course phase 3 of the Immutable X move migration for the OMI tokens to no longer be on GoChain, but to now be on an Ethereum-based solution with Immutable X. Again, phase 2 is complete, so all of the reminting of our NFTs onto Immutable X, no longer GoChain, is complete. So now we're just waiting on the migration to commence, which they said would start after New Year's. And they'll give ample time for our tokens to move over to Immutable X. There will be an article put out around this. But this is the added step. This is the need for us to continue to scale now on Ethereum solution with Immutable X. This is the biggest catalyst we've been waiting for OMI tokens specifically for a long time now. This is what we've been needing for us to really join the NFT world, to make them like the true NFTs, right? Is to be on a solution that everyone recognizes like Ethereum or Matic. And Immutable X has done very, very well in their marketplace, but having our Veve collectibles in an open marketplace is going to set the stage on us joining the rest of the NFT world versus just our closed app. So this won't be immediate. After the completion of phase 3, we will most likely see our collectibles in the Immutable X Marketplace, the ability to actually spend Ethereum on them to buy, sell. And this is just the start because we know there's interoperability. So OpenSea integration is coming to Immutable X Marketplace, so we'll be able to sell them also in OpenSea, as well as other marketplaces like Binance NFT Marketplace, Mintable, and the one that I'm most hopeful for is the Coinbase NFT Marketplace soon to come. But the biggest piece that we're waiting for, of course, is when more exchanges, right? Like that is the piece that we are most excited for as OMI investors, because there's still very, very little places to get OMI. We've all been chomping on the bit, right? Just waiting for more exchanges, which we've been waiting since summer. So this is the piece that we know is going to have an incredible effect on the price of OMI. I've had many friends and people I've reached out to tell me that they're not investing in OMI until it's on an exchange that they trust, is easy to use, is app-based, and this is all capable, again, once we're going into the migration. I mean, our trading volume is so much lower than what it was back in March and April. It is more than a tenth of what it was. When you kind of think about what exchanges we can see, just look at one of their closest competitors, Terra Virtual Collect, who has not been around as long as OMI, but has been around in the Ethereum side. So when we look at Terra Virtual's available markets, it's on Binance, it's on KuCoin, it's on these larger exchanges that most people know, trust, use. That shows some of the earliest exchanges that we could see coming for OMI. But also consider newer coins this year that shot up because of community involvement and people wanting them on more exchanges. That has an effect too, which we know everyone wants OMI on more exchanges. So when we look at Shiba, Shiba is of course on Binance, but also Coinbase, Huobi, FTX, Kraken, Gemini. I mean, they were able to have multiple trading pairs and multiple exchanges in such a short amount of time. So the reason I put January is because Dan did say in a past AMA that we don't need to wait for the migration to complete to see some exchanges announced. So my guess is that we will see 1 or 2 in January, but it's possible at this point, at this stage, for how long we've been waiting, that we could see an exchange announced monthly for a few months. The next piece is there are more blue chips to be found. There are more to be revealed, and many more in 2022. And of course, we want Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And anime, but my guess is the next one is of course Star Wars. Now, yes, we already saw R2-D2 and C3PO in the golden moments, but when you think of other NFT collectors, do you think they're going to really want a golden statue, or they're going to actually want a animated Boba Fett or an animated Darth Vader? I personally would prefer those over the golden statues, and that's going to be where we see a lot of excitement from the Star Wars fandom when they have an FA Boba Fett. Especially when you look at the physical forms that actually hold value. Boba Fett, $8,995. Darth Vader, $8,900. Yoda, $8,500. Physical collectibles on Sideshow of these characters hold some serious value, and that'll translate well into the NFT world. And I would love to see Boba Fett, especially since the book of Boba Fett is premiering on Disney Plus on December 29th, 2021. Next piece is actually having Master Collector Program implemented and being in use. They released a recent article that shows that it's rolled out in phases. So phase 1 is the points, levels, ranks. Phase 2 is drop raffle. Phase 3 is accessories, premium market listings, and badges. Phase 4 is MCP Pro. So this is all really exciting, but it's going to be so much more exciting, so much more gamification to it, and so much more competitive when you're actually able to see what points you've collected over your entire span of collecting in Veve, what ranking you are and what level you are, and how you can gain and lose points and rankings. We just saw V1, hopefully the finalized version of the MCP article, and now it's just a matter of it being implemented into the app, and that's coming in 2022. The piece again is, what does the OMI token do? Right now, really nothing, right? It just kind of burns tied to the tokens. Like, it has very little utility, but we've seen the OMI utility program article. There's another version coming out and then probably a finalized version after that. But this being implemented again is coming in 2022, where we'll see true utility, the ability to buy NFTs in the Veve app with OMI, among many other things with staking tiers. And so the excitement hasn't really come to fruition yet for these, because we get the articles, but they have not yet come to the app or to us to use. This is all about to happen. This is what creates excitement. And the way that they're set up is to retain users, investors, collectors. And so once we can actively use them and we're in the throes, this is how you gain an OMI investor and turn them into a long hodler instead of a swing trader. The piece is we have the web version coming. So for me personally, I am so excited for this to come. I mean, I look at pictures like this and I look at the crazy showrooms from like Roman and many others, True Tech Junkie. I mean, they have incredible showrooms, and it takes so long, so many hours to set this up with your finger and all that. So being able to actually go on the web version and be able to create showrooms with your mouse is going to save us a ton of time, create a lot more fun in the app. And the piece that is going to change the game for everyone is the waiting system style drops that's being updated, which is needed for us to scale. So I've seen plenty of newcomers hit on the first drop when they've figured out all the tips and tricks, but many get frustrated. They've gone weeks and weeks and weeks without getting anything. And now going to this system is going to help many to be able to basically randomize it, make it much more feasible for them to get collectibles on this waiting room system. So this is coming sometime in January, but I put February most likely. So we will be seeing this at some point in Q1 of 2022. As we continue to scale, as we continue to get new users, the app itself, in terms of the social abilities, some of the UI is pretty stale for the size we're at now. So we will see updates, making it more social, making the feed much better, and making it cleaner, as the version that we had back in February is not the same version we have now. And we've seen updates, but there's still more to come coming into 2022. Those marketing, Veve collectibles, OMI marketing, and influencers. So we've already seen somewhat marketing from the licensors themselves, right? We have Marvel tweeting out almost every single drop. We've seen Disney market Veve themselves. So we're having the brands themselves market because they're winning, as well as we've seen Immutable X put out video promoting Veve. That isn't going to slow down. It's going to get stronger because most of the marketing that they could do or could be doing hasn't come to fruition yet. There's so many more ways to market Veve and market Ecomi, but it doesn't make sense because they're growing so much so fast. So 2022 is where we're going to see some of the training wheels come off, and we're going to see some heavier marketing, not just on Veve, but they did say in the past that we will also see marketing around OMI, which it makes sense to market OMI when it's on an Ethereum-based solution, so it can be bought everywhere on multiple exchanges versus just the ones we have now. Next is the one that I've beaten to death, but it's because it is the biggest catalyst in my opinion, and that is localization. So multiple language functionality in the Veve app. I've shown stats before, but localization significantly increases user growth. It is a game changer for any native app-based company like Veve. You can see, this is an older article, but it says by only optimizing for the US market, you are losing 90% of potential users in other countries. And I don't think about it as losing, I think about it as untapped markets that we just haven't seen yet. So when you think about the fact that we're #1 in US and #1 in all these other countries, there's so many more to target, especially countries like China and India and Brazil and Russia. Not to mention, we already have YouTuber content creators who do content in French and Spanish and German. And so once they're able to show the app also in their native language, we're going to attract some of the largest influencers of these other countries to cover Veve as well, because they'll be able to show it in the native language. That in itself is already more marketing and advertising through other content creators. We have plenty of new verticals coming, right? So we still have sports to be seen with NFLPA, music, there's plenty of other verticals, but the one that I'm most excited for is kind of tied on to localization. That is, of course, anime. Again, when you think about how large the APAC region is and how massive that market is and how digital collectibles are going to do so well over there, but we haven't really targeted that market, it is insane, especially when anime comes, because when you look at how much anime is watched in China, India, Indonesia, Brazil, like Japan is not the #1 country who watches anime and reads manga. It's not United States. It is these largest countries, and it makes up a majority of the people of these countries who watch and read anime. So you have to think about all of these other verticals that haven't targeted outside users who are potential users, but we haven't hit those fandoms yet. These are coming in 2022. And there's new products to come as well, right? So they've discussed accessories, how there'll be something you can buy and to make your showrooms look a little bit cleaner, as well as accessories that you can earn to make your vaults look better, to have things in the VeveVerse, as well as there's been little hints around like mini games in the VeveVerse, as well as potentially seeing something like digital manga come, which just makes sense with anime if we have digital comic books. And we saw that they have digital collectibles, they have digital toys, they have digital comic books, they have digital stamps. So they're ticking off the things that are the most collected collectibles in the entire space. And one of those is also types of cards, whether it's sports or trading card games. And I have speculated that Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Makes sense to come to card form, especially in Veve, because Vagabond Games and Collectibles is David Yu's company, where he already holds, still to this day, the Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game license. We've had so many licenses announced that we've still to this day not seen. I mean, we've heard Jurassic Park and NFLPA, Little Prince, LOL Surprise Dolls, Capcom, Dark Crystal, Monster Hunter, Citroën, and more. We saw this picture behind Dan many, many moons ago on a interview, and we've still not seen most of these. There are hundreds of brands that we've yet to see. There are tons of artists that we've yet to be seen. They're all sitting in the pipeline, and so we will see some big licensors, not only ones that have been discussed, but also some that have been lurking under the surface to be revealed. We didn't expect Disney, let alone a bunch of other licensors, so we will be seeing a lot more of these coming in 2022. The next piece, I believe, could come in 2022, but there's never been a timeline announced for it. I think it depends on how and when the world reopens and we see more and more events that are happening, because digital signatures is what is going to change our collectibles from having really amazing value to having extraordinary value. Just think about your Todd. Think about how much the Todd has gone up in value and how there are X amount of them. Now imagine how much more value there is going to be when there's a select few who have Todd McFarlane's digital signature on those collectibles. It's almost like a new category for creating value out of those. It'll separate the value from a normal Todd to being a signed Todd. I'm really curious how they're going to roll this out, but of course, I imagine it would have to be geo-fenced to some kind of event or location to where they would sign it and you would see that certification or some form of authentication sticker with the signature to make sure there are no copyright. That's also what's beautiful about NFTs is they are actually helping things like this, because the copyright game on collectible cards and collectibles is huge, and NFTs solve this. And so again, this is something that will be coming eventually, but it's going to create another tier on top of our value of our collectibles, which also ties into we'll be seeing more events. So the first public event where we had Dave, Alex, Noah, Trevor, all in person. There was a ton of us at this event, and we all got to be a community in person. We showed our fandom, and because all of us huddled around the booth and going around talking to people, we attracted tons of new users. And so this is going to continue to happen well into 2021. And I think that they are actually looking at an event the first quarter of 2021, and throughout all of this, OMI is going to continue to burn. It keeps increasing in how much it's burning, especially as the price stays lower. And eventually, as more OMI utility comes in, it's going to burn and burn and burn more. That total supply is starting to look not so big over the next few years. You can track the OMI daily burn at OMI Daily Burn on Twitter. And you can see Jeremy Padower actually just posted on December 24th, last 7 days, an amazing 1,888,632,584 OMI burnt in 1 week. And there's been 8 billion OMI burnt in just over 2 months. And the last piece is, of course, the VeveVerse. So they did say this will be in multiple phases. They said a few months back we would see the first iteration in 6 months, but to be safe, I'm guessing we'll see probably the very first phase, which will be our Veve City, our Veve homes, in probably Q3, with more things coming out with land purchases and more later into 2022. But the larger NFT world does not consider OMI an NFT play. Whether it's CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap or many of the other ones that rank the top NFT coins, you don't see OMI anywhere near it, which is funny because besides Axie, we have the largest size active monthly users compared to any other crypto metaverse in the game today. So they're all crushing in the metaverse space, and they should be because they're amazing projects, but no one sees OMI coming. No one sees the VeveVerse as a potential threat yet. But when you bring over 1 million users already ready to go into a actual immersive metaverse community, it's going to be insane, and no one's going to see it coming besides us. So zoom out, take it in. This is a lot of things that we know are coming, but also think about how many things we don't know are coming. What we didn't expect to see that popped up in 2021 and surprised us all. The growth, the community, the excitement, it's all encompassed all of us, and this community is still exploding every single week, every single month. So the good news is it's not going to slow down in 2022 because the biggest ticket items for increased growth and price action are all happening in 2022. When I first downloaded the app in February, I was nervous to even put a couple $100s into it. But it's crazy to think that couple $100s is now thousands upon thousands of dollars. 10 months later, having true NFTs, a metaverse, true utility to the OMI token, and the ability to target users in a multitude of countries in their own languages, we've basically been in phase 1 this past year of our investment journey with Ecomi and Veve, and most of the NFT world still doesn't even see us. Phase 2 is about to kick off in 2022 with all of these catalysts and more to be seen. It's been a wild ride with all of you, and I'm thankful to be here with you guys, but it's about to get a whole lot more exciting and crazier kicking off in January. As always, I hope you found my content valuable, and if so, please hit the like button and leave a comment down below. The likes and comments appease the algo overlords and help my channel to continue to grow. And if you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button, notification bell for future content. That's it for today. I'm Taps. Thank you for your time, and happy trading.